Would you shoot me an email or something
You
with,
bet.
is it Jeff's name on the
Jeff
internet?
Rich.
Would you send me
Yeah,
his
he's
stuff?
fantastic.
Because I'd love to have him come on.
Yeah.
I got a buddy of mine that's the assistant director for the FBI nationally for counterterrorism.
Oh, we think he'd be able to hook you up. You,
Well,
you
you know
called
what?
last time
He
and didn't
thought he
you?
was too, and he was pissed because they jacked us around in the Dallas
Yeah.
office. And hell, October is their month. That's the Internet Security and Safety
Yeah,
Month.
yeah,
You would think they'd want to promote it. I couldn't get anybody to come in.
yeah. Well, I'm standing by for the next one.
Hey, thank you.
The property safety one, since we didn't touch on that, would be a great one.
Well, maybe
You
I'll
know,
hit you
because-
later on this month.
Yeah,
How's
because
that?
that's
That would be
something
great.
any time of year.
Would
Yeah.
you be open for that maybe in a
Oh,
week?
you bet.
We'll bring you back in a week and we can talk about how to protect your property.
You bet. I'll shoot you an email and just let me know what day works
Perfect.
for you.
All right.
And this time of day is no one's ever looking for me. This time.
Bounce over a chair there, Luke.
Thanks a ton.
Hey, you bet. Be good. Thank you. Thank you, and happy holidays.
All right, same to you.
And you know how to get out.
All right, folks. Holy cow! You just learned how to protect yourself from all the craziness of the holidays. That's right, craziness of the holidays. Now we've got coming on this guy right here. Come on over. You can't see. You gotta get up over here. Look at this. Look at this guy right here. Here you go, Luke James with Luke James Cattle Company. This guy is only 33 years old, and he's already calving over 400 calves. He sold over 100 steers and over 15 heifers, and he started with selling 5. And so if you've got a dream, you can make it happen, but you got to work hard. It's not free, right?
Not free. You got to work your butt off.
And this guy doesn't sleep hardly at all, especially during the season when they're birthing cows. He's got family that comes in. So you definitely want to tune in for our next segment here. We talk with Luke James Cattle Company.
Perfect.
You guys want a donut?
I'm good.
You sure? You ready for a donut?
Sure.
Come on,
Yeah.
you want a donut?
I'm not doing anything.
Krispy Kreme provides us breakfast every morning for our guests.
Really?
The one in Allen on Main Street 75. So if you get a chance, you know, go by there and tell them, hey, I was on JP and Dr. P. Thanks for the donuts. If you go to Krispy Kreme
Where's it
ever.
at now?
Allen at Main and 75.
What is this here? What is that?
This is YouTube. We're recording right now, and this will be put on YouTube tonight. Krispy Kreme, don't forget, they're our breakfast provider. I got to go.
Oh, you still
Well, I'll tell you what, Dr. B, I wish the commute was as nice as our music was this morning, but it's not this morning. I don't know what's going on with folks out there this morning, but there's a lot of traffic going on out there.
Out there.
You know, and I'm going to tell you something. You know, Mustang Cali taking off on Wednesdays. What's this leaving me with the traffic report? That's almost like the doomsdayer. You know, I'm glad we have her doing traffic and not me.
No, I hear
Well, I'm sure that's exactly what my wife is asking too. Why does everybody else get to take off from it but me? Well, folks, I'll tell you what, if you're out there commuting today, you definitely want to tune into our traffic report because there's a lot going on. We'll start off with 635 West. There's an accident at LBJ Freeway West at Midway Road. Now, that's not cleared up yet. That happened about 36 minutes ago. There's not a terrible slowdown. Right now, Midway is moving at about 33 miles an hour, and the ramp is moving at about 46 miles an hour. Once you get past that up to the Dallas North Tollway, you're at about 56 to 48 miles an hour. So not too bad there, but watch out for that accident. Another accident in the right lane of the Dallas North Tollway south at Forest Lane. That was about an hour ago. Still not cleared up, but traffic is moving no problem there on the Dallas North Tollway. Then we get over to I-12 North on Loop 12. There was an accident in the right, the right lane is closed due to road construction at 183. That was about 2 hours ago, but there is a slowdown that starts roughly at about 482 east all the way to I-35 south. And then on the other side, there's a slowdown that goes from about Irving Boulevard to Main Street. You're crawling at about 30 miles an hour. So you may want to seek a different route. It gets worse as you get closer to Keeneland Parkway and Davis Street. Gets to about 30 miles an hour. Then when we jump over further into Dallas, the HOV lane is closed at I-35 East at I-30, and there is construction blocking the exit at 35 East South at Riverfront Boulevard. Even though those are all reporting a day ago, that is still going on. That has not been cleared, and I will tell you that your commute down between Colorado Boulevard and Marsalis and Zang Boulevard, you are crawling at about 13 miles an hour right now, so you may want to seek a different route. And on the other side of that, if you're at the service road between Central Expressway and St. Paul Street, you are going at about 12 miles an hour. And between Exposition Avenue and Merrifield Avenue, you're traveling at about 27 miles an hour. Then on the other side of the Mixmaster, you're at Poplar Street and I-45 north to US 75 all the way down to Bear Street, Han Freeway Service Road. You are traveling at about 16 miles an hour. Again, this is probably the longest traffic report we've had to give all year, Dr. B.
So, bottom line is, most of us are going slow.
We're going slow today all the way around the central
And
part
be
of Dallas.
patient.
Yes.
Yeah, just be patient.
Be
You'll
patient.
get there.
There is construction at I-45 north at 20, and that was about 8 hours ago, but the exit is blocked there. Then on the other side, it's also got closed due to road construction at I-20 east between J.J. Lemon Road and 45, and then there's also road construction blocking the east side of I-20 as well. And then we have all the way back on the other side of 635, the HOV lane is closed between Oates Drive and Central Expressway, and that's going to be on both sides of the highway. Whew, Dr. B, I'm tired already. Then when you get into Arlington, you want to be careful between Watson Street and Arkansas Lane. Your commute's about 19 miles an hour. And as we get further into Fort Worth, fortunately in Fort Worth, everybody's driving a little bit safer. We only have some closures. We have a road construction left lane closed at North Loop 820 and the service road west at 35. Then when you slip down and get further into downtown Fort Worth, you are looking at a construction blocking the exit at I-35 north at Spur 280. And then one last road construction, or road block. And I can't get the Sigler to come on, but at 199 north at Commercial Street, your commute between Commercial Street and I-30 west is about 18 miles an hour. So folks, be safe out there. Looks like there's quite a bit of crazy traffic going on.
Wow, it does. And you know what? In a time like that, we kind of need some inspiration, don't we?
We
Something
really
good?
do. I'll tell you what, and Lori is brought to you. The choice is always is yours by Lori. Is brought to you by All Smiles Dentistry. They have served Allen residents for 15 years and are the official team dentist for the Allen Americans hockey team for the last 7. All Smiles can help you identify and prioritize your dental problems early, maximizing your dental benefit. Overwhelmed at your last dental checkup? Have a tooth that is bothering you? Don't be afraid. Call today for an evaluation at 972-747-1996. That's 972-747-1996. And visit their Facebook page at All Smiles Dentistry Allen and read what their happy families are saying. So we want to thank them. So Lori, inspire us in spite of the traffic. I think that's pretty dead on, Dr. B.
Absolutely. Accept them for who they are, not who we want them to be.
That's right, and I'll tell you what, that leads us right into Luke James. Luke, first of all, good morning, and thank you for joining us here on JP and Dr. B.
Thank y'all for having me.
You betcha. You know, let's talk a little bit about what you do. How did you get involved with cattle?
With cattle, it was just a family business there. My parents always had. I grew up doing it from, I guess, the day I could walk. I was right there in the tractor or right there in the feed truck, just helping take care of cattle and livestock and just trying to better the world and having them something to eat and a crop grown to feed the world.
I'll tell you what, that's not too bad. So you started off when you were really small then. You were a small child.
Yes, sir. When I don't remember the exact day that I came out there, but I would say I would never remember it. You know, I was in diapers, and I'm sure I would have been in a baby carrier in the tractor. I can remember in a pillow in the tractor there, sleeping, bouncing all over the world. Don't know how we slept,
But you did.
we're
though.
here today, so it worked.
It worked. So what is your first memory of working with cattle?
My first memory of working with cattle would be there's just so many of them to really pinpoint one exact memory. But I mean, it was my parents always, it's a big family deal, and we always had to feed them before we could eat breakfast. I mean, we would get up in the morning and we had bottle calves. We always had a responsibility for them, me and my brother, and we would take care of them before mom would even make breakfast for us in the mornings.
How many head of cattle did you have at that time? When you were growing up and you had to go out and feed them, you and your brother?
Well, they were really all my father's and mother's cattle there at that time. We had 2 or 3 bottle calves. They'd be Holstein or Jersey calves there that we would get from a local dairy. He'd teach us more responsibility and have to get up and take care of them besides our regular family farm of all the livestock on it that we had as a family.
Now, not being in the business, I don't know much about it, so let me ask, how long did it take to bottle feed one of the cattle?
I would say, well, if there's 2 or 3 of them things, by the time you mix the milk up and shake it up real well and tend to the calves and get the pens cleaned and have them all bottle fed, you could be done with a couple of them in 30 minutes.
So you learned responsibility at an early age and how to do the job correctly, because I'll bet if you didn't, Dad had you redo it, huh?
I'll guarantee you that if we didn't have to redo it, he had something to discipline us with if it was a stick or an extension cord.
Well, and so the key though is that when it was time to go out and feed, you didn't get to feed yourself first.
That is
Yeah.
correct.
You had to take care of these animals first because they can't take care of themselves.
Yes, sir.
So I guess you learned responsibility when you were in diapers already.
Yes, sir. As soon as I could walk, I can remember going out and having to fall down, get up in the mud, and come to the house and have Mom throw me right in the shower and get me cleaned back up from just, if it was raining or nasty outside, we were sure having to take care of the livestock.
Now you said you had a brother, is that right?
That is correct. Brad James, my brother. Yes, sir.
All right. And so now did he do the cattle thing, or now, did you do cattle when you were in high school?
Yes, sir. I did. We both showed in FFA, both of us there. I guess you can get in that deal when you're in 3rd grade. He's 2 years younger than me, but we both did it. But he was more the athlete, and I was more the cattleman.
And so when you went into high, first of all, what is FFA? Because now a lot of our listeners may not even know what FFA is.
FFA is Future Farmers of America, which it's not that anymore. When I was in
Right.
school, that's what it stood for. But it's a program for agriculture to teach the kids all about the agriculture, as in the livestock community, the feeding the world, basically.
Because that's what they're teaching kids then. So we're passing on a very important, I mean, we've got an overpopulation problem as it is, and so it's good that we've got programs like FFA that can teach children how to grow crops, how to grow livestock. You know, those hamburgers at McDonald's, well, I don't know what they sold last year, 9.10 billion or however many hamburgers they sold, but those hamburgers didn't come from thin air.
No, they didn't. And the requirement to feed the world, I like that idea that it's not just local, it's not just what I'm doing for myself, it's what I'm doing for the world.
Well, folks, I'll tell you what, we're with Luke James, the owner of Luke James Cattle Company. When we come back, we're going to find out what showing cattle means. You know, I'm wondering if it's a beauty pageant for bovine, and I guess Luke will help clear that up for us because I think he's the expert on that. And so when we come back, we're going to be talking with Luke James, real people, real stories. So stay tuned, and we're also going to give you the magic word, and we're going to talk about our Carter Blood Drive coming up for Josh Allen. You're listening to 620 AM KEXP.
Is that okay?
Yep, that's good.
Good, yeah, yeah.
Remember, it's just your conversation between you and me and Dr. B.
Okay.
Just a conversation. It's nothing more than that. So don't put any pressure on you. When we come back, I'm going to ask you about what is showing cattle. And then I'm going to ask you where it led to from high school and how'd you decide to get into the cattle
What,
business.
what is showing cattle?
Yeah, what is showing cattle? What does that mean? Is it a beauty pageant for bovine? And then you can lead into that. What I want you to talk about is that I don't want you to talk about all the preparation of the cow. Nobody cares about what they do to prep the cow.
Okay.
Now, if you know, like I may poke a little bit at you, and I may say, so do you blow dry them and brush them? You know, and you, well, yes, sir, that's part of
So
it.
don't go into that though.
No, we don't want to go into great detail because people get lost in that.
So you want me to go into?
The competition aspect of it, that this isn't just something that's easy, that you, and tell people you put a lot of work into getting your cow ready for 15 minutes. You know, and you walk into that arena, and
That's
whether
to
it's a
perform.
whether it's a big show or a little show, you have to work a lot with your calf to get them halter broke, so that when you walk in, they stand just right to show off the different parts of that cow and what you're developing of that cow. And then there's a judge that judges them, and these kids are submitting themselves to being judged on the work that they're doing with their calf,
Okay.
and that creates competition and self-esteem and all those kinds of things, and it helps build that child's character. But it's a competition, and it's a real competition. This isn't just some, hey, we're a bunch of redneck farming cattle people. Well, this is a real big deal. You know, this is a lot of work. It's a lot of effort, and we get judged by it. And then when we leave that, I'm going to go into and transition quickly into how did you decide to go into the cattle business? And then we're going to start talking about how you started. You know, I didn't have any cows, so I would go out and look for cows for folks. In my first year,
I just feel